Kris Gethin here, reporting from Venice Beach, California, here early in the morning. My predictions, and just talking a little about the 2015 Mr. Olympia that is going to be happening now in a couple of days' time. Really excited for this event. There's been a bit of a shake-up, as you guys probably know now. Kai Greene is not in the event, which is an absolute shame. You know, I really do like Kai Greene as a person and as a competitor and as a challenger for the Mr. Olympia title. So without him in it, wow, it's a huge shock, especially considering that we've only been privy to this now publicly for the last, in the last few days, just the same week of the event. Kai, came very close to taking the title last year. There's no doubt about that. Heath was probably at his worst, but still Kai is still continued to evolve and improve. So without him challenging for that title is going to be a shame. Why he hasn't competed or isn't competing, there's mixed reviews out there, and I cannot really comment on that without knowing exactly the truth. All I know from what I've heard, he didn't sign his contract in time. Robin Chang has come out and said that he did actually, as he does with all competitors, he did actually, contact them all several times, including Kai, with his sponsors and whatnot. So who knows what's happened there. I know that Kai has just launched his own supplement line, and he's got a lot of other things on the go in regards to, he's just done a lot of VO for the NFL and stuff like that. So maybe he's changing directions within his career now. He is at the twilight of it at 40 years old, so who knows. But we still have people like Big Ramy, we have Dennis Wolf, we have Branch Warren still going in there and really hungry to take Heath's title. And if Heath is off, then who knows, somebody could go in there and grab it. I really like Branch Warren because he always comes in and silences the haters. Everyone says he's done, he's dusted, his body's weathered, but he comes in full, ripped, and he silences a lot of those haters. And I really like that about Branch. And I know in Branch, he is coming into this event hungrier than ever. His training has been off the wall. He's been getting ready very early for this event. And he's just boarding the flight now today, as of like an hour ago. And he's looking big. He's looking large and he's looking in charge, so who knows what he's going to do. I don't know anybody as devoted to bodybuilding as Dennis Wolf. He lives, breathes bodybuilding 24/7. Okay, he may not be the hardest trainer out there, that's got to go to Branch Warren, but he is the most dedicated. And he's in his hometown and he's ready to pounce on taking our title. We all know that he is his own coach. He prepares himself, so he's constantly learning his body. And over the past few years, he has really put a fine line on pinpointing the accuracy of his peak. He's coming in fuller, he's coming in tighter. The only downfall with Wolf is that he does tend to fade throughout the weekend. He does flatten out. He stays peeled, but he flattens out. And when you've got a three-dimensional look like Heath that you have to compare to, you have to be full to the brim, especially when you have a couple of weaknesses that Dennis Wolf does, and that's namely from the lower back, high insertion lats, but does make him look very wide. And his calves, obviously his calves are very weak, and he doesn't have the massive hamstring hang that Heath does from the side, or that thickness of that three-dimensional look, because Heath is so full. Now when Heath came pro, people did squabble about him looking too narrow and stuff like that, but that's a thing of the past now. There's no way that guy is gonna succumb to any, I don't know, critics or critique on his physique because he's narrow. The guy is, just put so much cap to his delts. His arms are just out of this world. I don't think he even trains his arms anymore. The guy just really has no weaknesses now. So unless he's off, it's going to be very hard to challenge him. Now, one of the challenges that a lot of people are talking about is Big Ramy. Ramy is like touching the scales at 300 pounds, and obviously, if you look at somebody like a He-Man type physique, that's Big Ramy. It looks like his legs have actually been popped onto this physique. They just look out of this world. They're ungodly. But we haven't seen the dimensions and the depth to his physique and the separation from one muscle group to another, such as Phil Heath's on Big Ramy yet. And I don't know, because he's grown so fast that he's, you know, hasn't been able to put that detail within his physique. Time will tell, but he hasn't been able to do that just yet. He's gotten bigger, but he hasn't necessarily gotten better. But, you know, he dominated the New York Pro this year, and he did look much better than he had in the past. So let's see what he's been able to dial in between the New York Pro and now. You know, his size is obviously a dominant figure, and it's going to be hard to not look at. Now we got one more who, Joan Moore came in and dominated this year as well over Victor Martinez. He's still growing, he's still young, so there's definitely potential for him to crack the top 6 this year. It's going to be a deep field. Past the top 3, it's going to be very deep, and we got a numerous amount of competitors that are going there to shake things up. All right, now going on to the physique category, it's not something that I know too much about, but we've got obviously last year's winner, Jeremy Barunda, and Sadiq is looking a lot bigger than he has in years past, and you know, we know that guy can come in shape. So there's definitely going to be a tough battle there. It's a shame that Steve Cook is not going to be in the event this year, because obviously with Neil Hill in his corner, he has been looking bigger and sharper as well throughout the year. And you know, he's been dieting down for the event, not the contest in itself, and he looks really, really good. So it's a shame that we're not going to have Steve in this show. But going to the 212s, again, Neil Hill's protege and my fellow Welshman, Flex Lewis, is, as always, one of the most dedicated bodybuilders that I've ever known. You know, he is so passionate about bodybuilding. He lives, breathes it, and you know, he's so positive as well. So he's not going to have any cortisol problems that are going to hold him back from getting in shape. The only problem with Flex is that, man, he probably looks his best at like 218 pounds. So then he really has to lose muscle to really reach this category under 212s. So he loses a lot of muscle and he loses a lot of fullness within that. But again, much like Heath, Flex can come into this show at 95% and he's still going to beat everybody, because he's got such beautiful flowing lines. He has a full 3-dimensional look to his physique, specifically from the back, very detailed from the back. The only thing that holds him back slightly is because he has to lose that muscle, is that from the front he looks a little bit flatter. But again, a 90% Flex is a Mr. Olympia. But you know, we have Jose Raymond coming into this thing again. I think he's the #1 contender, just because that guy comes in so hard, and he looks like he can barely squeeze into the 212 himself. You know, he's full, he's vascular. He is the Branch Warren of the 212s. You know, obviously we have Eduardo, again, comes in probably the best shape out of everybody. The only thing that holds him back is that his structural flaws, is that, you know, his lats don't flare out, they actually insert from the waist. And he's a little bit blocky in the waist, but you cannot deny the amount of muscle that guy holds. And he's always the most ripped guy up there. So I think that's going to be the top 3 for the 212s. It's going to be very competitive. So we've trained here in Venice the last few days. We've been training at Gold's Gym. We've been doing a lot of cage muscle content here and having meetings. This morning we're going to go and train at Muscle Beach here with Team Cage Muscle. We got Amy Fox here. We got Marzina and Kate Kennedy, and it's going to be a good time. And then we're going to drive our asses down to Vegas. We got like a 6-hour drive in a bus, so it should be a lot of fun. So yeah, see you in Vegas. And speaking of Vegas, on Friday morning and Saturday morning at 6:30 in the morning, we're going to be giving a free workshop and seminar and workout at City Athletic, and the first 50 people through the door will also get a free tub of pre-cage. So I invite everybody down there who's going to be at Vegas to come along to our free workshops and possibly get yourself a free tub of pre-cage. And if you don't get a free tub, we'll give you some pre-caged anyway to get your ass through the workout. So see you in Vegas. So if you like this video, guys, please like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.